Welcome back, Fragrance Fiend here today with Eucalyptus 20, one of my most anticipated releases over the past year. Can't believe it's finally here. Labo, one of my absolute favorite brands of all time, and to be honest, this is nothing quite like what I expected. And when I saw the note breakdown of this one, I was a little worried, but do not fear. But let's get into the description first. Eucalyptus 20 is an invigorating cocktail of notes featuring the cooling essence of eucalyptus paired with a powerful resinous duo of olibanum and labdanum. Picture a secluded land where you could get lost in for weeks without meeting a single human being. Endless red sand and endless blue sky. Under the scorching heat of the sun, suddenly you see a white tree over the horizon that you think it's unreal. The scent of eucalyptus filling the air and inviting you to its sacred haven. The scenery is the main inspiration behind Eucalyptus 20, the scent of space, where the cooling freshness of eucalyptus and cedar is complemented by the warm leatheriness nuances of labdanum, an invitation from us to set yourself free. In this one you have eucalyptus, red thyme, cedarwood, olibanum, labdanum, balsam, gurajan, hyssop, and musk. Now for the part you've been waiting for, let's give it a spray. This is honestly like nothing I expected, and thankfully nothing like the Diasenderger Eucalyptus. Honestly, this one is very typical of Labo, where it says the name and it takes a left turn. It is not eucalyptusy. You do get a very small hint of that eucalyptus freshness in the opening, but it takes you down a completely different path. It's so unexpected yet distinct and familiar. So from last year's release of Lavande 33 and reading the note breakdown, I assumed it would actually smell a lot like the male grooming line. Meanwhile, with Eucalyptus 20, I did not know what to expect. It was distinct yet so familiar. Then it wouldn't take too long for me to realize it actually smelled a lot like the hair and body to the right of me. It really does take the brand as you know it to a whole new level. It kind of sits in there with more unusual scents like vetiver and Thé Noir. And to be honest, the one note which it does not mention is the note I picked up most of all, which is Hinoki, Japanese cypress, which is based around this entire range here. It is so incredibly herbal, you do get that very small wave of eucalyptus to deliver a hint of freshness, but it really doesn't quite stick out as some of the other notes. It's really that dry cedar wood, the smokiness and leatheriness from the olibanum, and those warm resinous facets from the labdanum, which make this completely different from the rest of the range. As I mentioned, it's botanical, it's dry, it's resinous and earthy. In the opening, you definitely get a sense of that thyme, that dryness from the cedar wood, and the rest definitely overwhelms you a tiny bit. It's really this unique combination of notes. I also get a tiny bit of patchouli and vetiver out of it as well. But for those people who say that Labo has really commercialized and become quite mainstream, this one will leave you second guessing. It is not for everyone. It's definitely personality in a bottle, which I find a lot of the Labos are. And this is exactly why I'm reviewing this based on a sample and why I didn't already buy it. On day one of wearing this, I was complimented. People asked what I was wearing, which is what most people look for in a fragrance, especially when one is as unique as this. That being said, even though I didn't buy it today, it's probably something I will purchase down the line. I wanted to get this out ASAP. I'm going to give it another quick spray. So yeah, you get a small amount of spice, not as much as say Thé Noir. It's definitely a middle ground. You do get some incense in there as well, which isn't mentioned in the note breakdown. But if it's not available to you yet, get your nose on the Hinoki bodyline and you won't be too far off. Honestly, by now, I wish they did do a scent based on the men's grooming line. I absolutely love that blend of tonka, lavender and mint. It's just so crisp fresh. I feel like this one does lean slightly more mature, but not mature enough. Probably someone in their 30s plus. Even though I think it is a beautiful scent, it's definitely quite unusual. Nevertheless, definitely worth getting your nose on. I somewhat wish Labo released a little more frequently, but you cannot rush perfection. Even though it's a unisex scent, it does lean a little more masculine in contrast. But anyway, that's all for today's video. Thank you again so much for watching. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.